No. We have two types of IELTS tests. So the first one, academic, and the second one, general training. So normally students apply for academic test so that first of all, we focus on academic, and after that, of course, we move on general training. But, the point is here, the difference between these two, as you can guess, academic, educational, and, general. But, especially in writing, maybe you can see a big difference between writing task one, especially in academic and general training. So first of all, we're going to talk about academic test, writing task one. So we have two tasks that you need to write an essay, like, for example, the first one, write on some diagram charts, or for example, a table process map. So we have different types of, maybe questions that you will be facing task one. But about the general, it's something different. But now we're going to talk about writing task one, academic test. So let me share my screen and let's see what you know about task one. Okay, you can see diagram and pie chart and table. So do you know anything about them? So for example, what is the first one? Do you know?
It's a line chart.
Yeah, line graph, or we normally say as graph. And the second one?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
It's bar chart. It's bar
Oh,
chart, and and they are bars. Okay, and this is a bar chart. And this one,
pie chart.
of course, this one.
I don't know. It's a table.
Yeah, of course, it's a table. It's a table. And we have map and process that we will talk about it later. So we have map and process to all the types of actually questions that you will be asked to write in task one. But, later, step by step, I will talk about them. First of all, line graph, maybe the most common. But of course we have, but not in this way, of course, not at all. So normally multiple lines, and not only this one, and sometimes you have two diagrams, or for example, one pie chart, one bar chart to compare. So different types of questions. First of all, let's learn about the sections maybe, and the structure of task one, how to write it, and how many paragraphs do you need to write, and what topics. Okay, so let's talk about them. Well, tell me, do you know anything about task one? How many paragraphs do you need to write on each diagram or chart?
I don't know. Maybe 4.
Okay, of course, you're right, 4. So we have 4 paragraphs here. So task one, let me write it here. Okay, and this here. Okay, now I can write. So writing task one. The first paragraph, introduction. The second one, overview. Main body one, main body two. So 4 paragraphs. Task one consists of 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph is introduction. The introduction is normally the same for different charts and diagrams. So we normally do the same thing. No, they are not the same. We don't write the same thing, but we follow the same structure to write. what should we do to write an introduction? We need to paraphrase a question. So we need to paraphrase our question. That's really important. So when we have a question, we need to paraphrase it. What is this chart about? What does it show? What does it illustrate? What does it demonstrate? Okay, and then the most important part of writing task one, maybe overview. But what is your overview? Okay, tell me, do you know anything about overview, how to write it, and what is an overview? Do you know? Do you know what an overview is?
It's like a sum up with
Yeah,
the whole graph.
course, of course, you're right. So in simple terms, yeah, an overview is a summary of what you see. But you know, some students, some candidates make mistake when writing overview or conclusion. Overview is not a conclusion. It's different because we don't have conclusion in task one. Maybe it can be like conclusion, but it's overview, a summary of what you see, the main general trend, something that, but you know, no details, no figure, okay, nothing, okay? In academic task one, uh, actually, you will see a visual. Visual means a different, maybe diagram or chart that you need to describe. And there might be one visual that is one graph, or might get more than one visual or one chart, for example, and one diagram. So combination, both of them, and you need to, or maybe, I don't know, three. So two or three, so that you need to compare. So it can be one visual or more than it. And you know, the overview, as I told you, should summarize the main trends, the main changes, developments. So let me write overview, trend, or what is this? What is this? Okay, changes, developments. It was trained. That was really interesting. Why did I write it? Stages.
Oh, wait, I need to take something, so I'll be right back by like
Of
2 minutes.
course. Of course,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Thank you. Um,
Okay. Well, so as I told you, as we discussed introduction, paraphrase the question, including what, where, when. What happened, when happened, where happened. Okay? And the overview should summarize, the main trends, changes, developments, or maybe any big change. So if I want to summarize it, I say any big changes, something noticeable, something that you can see. So we don't give details in our overview. And then we move on main bodies, that we have two main bodies, the first one and the second one. You need to separate, you need to divide the information into two parts and then write in two paragraphs. Just normally, if you have more than one visual, for example, one graph, one chart, okay, you need to, in your overview, okay, your overview should include the information about both of them. So both of them, maybe general trends and the most important part, or maybe noticeable point about both visuals. Okay, so this is about the structure that you need to follow in order to write your essay for task 1. Now let's move on the book. So, and let's learn some words related to charts and diagrams. So look at this charts and diagram, look at this visual. So let me write here, because it's a bit difficult to say visuals, okay? We call them visuals, okay? So look at them and let's write the words from box in the correct place in order to complete. So let's learn some words, phrases related to visuals. Okay, the first one, this is, of course, it's line graph, or a graph. So line graph is also known as graph. And now let's talk about number 2. What is number 2, you think?
the line, the line.
Of course, it's line. Okay, just we don't say the line here, just line. It's a line, okay? And number 3 is,
I don't know what is
okay,
horizontal and
yeah,
what's
let me say, we have vertical and horizontal. This is horizontal, and this one is vertical axis. So horizontal, vertical. Okay, so this
okay.
is number 3 is,
Horizontal axis.
yeah, horizontal axis, very good. And of course, number 4 is vertical. And now let's move on number 4. Let's keep going. So this is number 4. Here we have a bar chart, and this is,
Vertical axis.
yeah, vertical axis, very good. And number 5, so the name of chart. It's
Yeah.
bar
Bar
charts.
chart.
And yeah, number 6.
Column.
No, they are
Oh,
not. Yeah, they're
a bar.
bars. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, they are bars. So it's bar. And here, of course, we normally have a guide. It can be, for example, for bar chart or pie chart or table. So we have a guide. And this is a
Key.
key. Of course, it's a key. Okay, so help us to maybe write on the chart or diagram. Okay, and now let's keep going. 8. So as you can see here, look, this is the title of this pie chart, the title, the topic. So, favorite type of movie. What is the chart about? What is visual about? Type of movie. So this is your title. And number 9, this is a
Pie chart.
pie chart. Great, very good. And each part, these parts are called segments. So in pie chart, every section is called one segment. So there are segments, okay? And keep going. 11. Okay, 11 is this is
Mhm. Wait.
table. This is a table.
Oh,
Yeah,
table.
yeah, it's table. And here, this one is
Column.
column, and this one
Row.
row. Very good. Column. So they're the words, and you need to know, I know at first, in order to write on different visuals. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, now how to write. As you can see, there are some questions here. If you answer these questions, you can write. You can make your essay. You can write about charts. Okay, so let's answer these questions. What does the title say the graph is about? Okay, study these graphs and make notes about their main features. Use. So we need to answer these questions, okay? So we're talking about graph. So here, what does the title say?
Um, the up or the down. Oh, okay. Home ownership rates in selected European countries.
Yeah, very good. Home ownership rate and selected. Okay, yeah, it can be. And what does the vertical axis describe?
It describe the percentages.
What?
Percentage
Yeah, a what? So it's vertical.
of the home ownership rate.
Yeah, okay, it can be. What does the horizontal axis describe?
It describe the European countries.
Yeah, you say it described the European countries. Okay, very good. So we're trying to answer the question one by one. Okay, then we can write. Okay, and now the next one. Uh, what do the columns or bars represent? Okay, here. Ah, this one is about this one? Ah, really?
Yeah.
So no matter, it's okay. Okay, so let's move. So Let's complete this part and then move on. Okay, so vertical, horizontal, it's okay. And what do the highest and the lowest points of the line show?
It shows that Romania have the highest percentage of the home ownership rate,
Yeah, of course. The
whether
high,
the
most, and
Switzerland
the
is
least.
the lowest.
Yeah. The most and the least, as you said. Okay, very good. And uh, the next one, okay. What is the general trend of the line? It's something the same, maybe, general trend. So as you can see, look at these countries. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so look at these countries. Okay, as you can see, most of them have similar figures. You know, they're the same. You know, similar, the same figures, except for Romania. Yeah. So we can
Yeah.
say that general trend, something, oh, this is the definition of general trend. So the similarities maybe. So what is the general trend? Something that we can see when I look at this graph, I can see that most of countries, you know, have the same figures, numbers. You know, it's about 80% to, you know, 60 and 40. So just, you know, step by step, we have a decrease step by step. Okay. So,
Yeah.
and the next one, are there any sharp decreases or increases? Sharp, the most important one.
Well, it could be Romania to Italy, but maybe not. Just like
Yeah, of course. So
below.
as you can see, yeah, as you can see, you know, Romania, this is different from the others. So we can say that yes, much higher percentage of home owners than the other countries. So the other countries, so Romania has much higher percentage of home ownership or home owners than the other countries. So we can say, now let's keep going with this one. Okay, again, we have the same question. So what is the title? So it's about,
World most expensive cities
of course,
in 2000.
yeah, very,
In 2015.
yeah,
How
2015,
much
yeah.
can you
So
buy
the
for
world's
one?
most, yeah, the world's most expensive cities in 2015, yeah, of course. And number two, what does the vertical axis describe? Vertical,
The buying price in US dollars per meter
yeah,
square.
of course. And we can say the cost, okay, per, okay, we have here a square meter. So this one, square meter in and in US dollars. Yeah, so in US dollars. So, and how about horizontal?
The cities.
Okay, cities. Just, you know, let me say something about the use of there. That's really important. You know, for plural nouns, we don't use there here. Okay, just cities. The city is one city that it's actually we are familiar with or we know. So this is the city. And you know, we have definite, indefinite article a and de. Okay, here there is not necessary to be used because just cities. Okay, this is plural now. Well, and now let's talk about columns or bars. We say bars, not columns here. So what do they represent?
Um,
It represents, it shows what? The cost, as you can see, look. Again, the cost per square meter in each city. So different cities and price. So price is good if you say price and different, but it's a bit basic. So IELTS is formal language. So we say the cost, let me write, per square meter in each city. So this is about bars. Okay, now keep going. Which is the tallest and shortest bar? So the tallest
the
and
tallest. I think New York and Singapore was like the same.
yeah, of course, Newark, and the shortest one?
Is Monaco.
Yeah, of course, very good, very good. And now let's keep going. Okay. How do the bars compare to one another? So just think about it and say how. How do the bars compare one another?
Shorter something. I don't know.
So, as you can see, it means we're going to compare. So we have Hong Kong, London, and Monaco, and New York, Singapore. So let's see. Monaco and Hong Kong and London are very similar. New York and Singapore significantly more expensive. So this is something that we can see. When we check, when we see this bar chart, the first thing that we actually notice is, oh, Monaco, Hong Kong, and London, they're the same, but about New York and Singapore, we can see a significant change here. So this is something that we can write. So we can write, let me write, I need more space to write, so here's better. Okay, so we can say, and Hong Kong and London are very similar. So this one. Well, now 13. About pie chart, what does the title say the graph is about? So the title is,
Average house size in selected country.
yeah, of course, average house size in selected countries. Yeah. And what do the segments represent? these segments?
Size?
They're different countries. Look, different colors, different countries. So, different countries. Which is the largest or smallest segment? The largest is?
Largest is Australia.
Yeah,
Smallest is Hong Kong.
yeah. Okay, and are some segments similar in size?
Well, Canada, USA, and Australia was like
Yeah, but
nearly.
yeah, the US and Australia, because 201 and 214, so they're the same. But this one, Canada, 181, so less than 200. So we can say that Australia and the US. Yeah. So as you can see, if we need to answer these questions in order to write, okay, about this pie chart. Well, and let's keep going with our table. What does the title say?
Average house size in selected European countries.
Yep, very good. And how many columns? So the thing that how many columns are there? What do they represent? So how many columns? Two.
To
And what do they represent?
countries and size.
Very good, country and size. And which country has the biggest average house size?
Uh, Denmark.
Denmark, of course. And which one has the smallest average house size?
Italy.
Italy, of course. And which countries have a similar average house size? Similar.
Um, Germany and France.
Of course, France and Germany, they're the same. Okay, so now we know how to write because we have some questions. So first of all, you need to ask this question from yourself. Okay, so, and then you answer them so that you can write. Okay, so the first thing, as I told you, paraphrase of question, this is your introduction. What is question, what is title, what is question, and after that your overview. Okay, you need to say how many columns, how many, for example, segments, okay, and what they represent. Okay, so you need to talk, just in your IELTS writing, you don't write, there are two columns. No, definitely no. You only pay attention. For example, we have two columns about country and say, so I need to write it. So this table represent the countries, for example, average house size in some countries, not all countries, selected countries, and the size of them. So something like this. Okay. Well, and now let's have a look at this sample answer. The sample answer described the pie charts and table. So as I told you, we can have more than one visual so that we need to compare. So rewrite the sample answer, correcting any errors, so in data. So let's see if we can. So let's see. Would you read it, please?
The pie chart and table provide information about the average house size worldwide. According to the pie chart, the Australians have the most space, with the average house size being 214 square meters. This is perhaps because it's such a large country. The second largest houses are in Canada, with the average size being 201 square meters. The country with the smallest houses is Hong Kong, with residents being an average of just 45 square meters. In comparison, the table illustrates the average house size in all European countries. The the United Kingdom and Italy have the smallest houses, and Denmark and Greece have the largest. The average house size in Denmark is 137 square meters. In
Yeah.
conclusion,
Conclusion.
when comparing the two graphs, it is easily apparent that houses in Europe are much smaller than in non-European countries. Overall, Australia has the biggest houses and Italy has the smallest. This is probably due to the size of each country.
Yeah, very good. Just, first of all, we need to correct the errors, the mistakes, if there are, of course, 1, 2, 5. But here in conclusion, oh, teacher, what you said that there is no conclusion in writing task 1. So what is this? Yeah, in conclusion, there actually, maybe you can do something. There is not a rule, there is something that you can do. You can replace, okay, you can replace your main bodies and overview. So normally we say introduction, overview, main body, main body. You can write introduction, main overview. So you can put your overview at the end of your essay so that it seems like a conclusion, but it's not. Because of course, in conclusion, normally, as well as overview, you normally summarize the main features. So it's something the same. Because of this, maybe we say it's something like conclusion, but it's not conclusion. That is overview at the end of your essay. Okay? And there are different words for overview. We have different words that we can use to begin our overview. Overall, the first one for table, we normally overall. Chart in brief, for example, or it can be seen, so something is in summary. In summary is good. So to summarize is good. So you can use overall. So all these words can be used to begin, to start your overview. Okay, so let me write different words that you can use. So the first one, overall, and the most common, overall, or in summary. Okay, or for example, you can say in brief. Okay, and for example, another one, as can be seen, or so as can be seen, or it can be clearly seen. So there's words, okay, but normally we use overall. But in conclusion, I don't like this word. It's not something that I use. In conclusion, it's not good because it's something like make my essay like, it's conclusion here, it's not good. So we need to pay careful attention to the words, discourse markers, and phrases that we use. So here, in conclusion, is not good. I don't like it. So, okay, now, what is the problem with the first one? The pie chart and table provide information about the average house size worldwide. Really? Worldwide? What is the problem with this?
Um,
First of all, the pie
it's
chart,
selected.
of course, and they are different. So you need to write the pie chart illustrate provides information about the average house size in selected countries and the table in selected European countries. So this is the first issue. And after that, here, the second largest houses are in Canada, with average size being 201 square meter. So let's see. The second one is
USA.
of course the USA. So Canada is the third. Okay, and this one, the country with the smallest houses is Hong Kong, with residences being an average of just 45. Let's see. Okay, Hong Kong here. So what's the issue of just? So what's the issue? Can you say? Can you say what's the issue here?
The size.
Yeah, so the smallest, just let's see if it's right or no. So the smallest, yeah, it's Hong Kong. So 45, yeah, of course, just 40, yeah, 45 square meter. So, yeah, okay. And the next one, in comparison, the table illustrates the average house size in all European countries. In all, no. In
Yeah.
all, no. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
let me say something here. As I told you, we need to pay attention to the word that we use. For example, here, 45 and of just 45. Why just? Just of 45, So the average, we are talking about the average. We don't say average of just. A just is an accurate exact number. So we don't use it. It's about 45. So just 45. And here, all, not all countries, in selected countries. So it's all countries in all countries around the world. So this, they're just some selected countries. So here. And now number 5, it's easily apparent that houses in Europe are much smaller than non-European countries. So houses means all the houses, or no, just some houses. So which one is right? Or most houses, so it's important. So which one? Look, Europe, non-Europe. Let's see. So France, Denmark, Germany. Okay. So what you think in most of countries, or
Okay.
here. So in most, not when you say, when here, the candidate writes houses, all. It indicates all houses, but here we have some, most of them. Okay, so here. And the last one, Italy has the smallest, Australia has the biggest houses, and Italy has the smallest. So let's see. Italy has the smallest. Italy,
Yeah.
61. Hong Kong, 45. So, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong. Yeah, of course, not Italy. So as you can see, we have two visuals, one pie chart, one table here, and now we're gonna compare. So both visuals together. So at the same time, we have, okay, let's compare them. Here we have Italy, smallest, but here we have Hong Kong. So let's compare them. Okay, this one is smaller. So let's write it. Okay, so this is something that you need to know and pay attention to the words that you use because it may make your answer wrong. So it's really important. Okay, well, and now let's learn some really important words to actually write because you normally uh, write about changes in task one. So it can be high or low, decrease, increase. Okay, now let's learn. The first one, rise, synonyms, fall like synonyms. Okay, and now rise in,
Increase.
of course, increase. And another one, so let me write them. So increase. And the third one, another word is climb, climb. And this one, number 4, another word, go up, you know. And number 5, that's really good one. Of course, they have differences. So we will talk about the meaning. For example, rocket, this one. Of course, it means increase, but a bit different. And soar, again, increase. So all these words mean increase, but rocket and soar means like sudden increase. Okay, and now fall. Number
Decrease.
8, of course, decrease, the most common. And another one, can you guess?
Decline.
Decline means decrease. Or
Go down.
go down, of course, very good. And these two, you don't know these two words, so let me say. We have plummet and plunge. So plummet and plunge. And the last one, drop. So again, plummet and plunge. When actually the change is really fast, quick, and sudden, we use plummet. Decrease is plummet or plunge. And of course, we have maintain, remain, stay. So when we have a steady trend, okay. And now, which of the verbs in the boxes are used to describe a sudden increase? As I told you, a sudden increase.
Rocket and soar.
Yeah. And decrease, sudden decrease.
Plummet. Plunge.
Plunge. Plummet and plunge means sudden decrease. So when you see a sudden decrease, you use these two words. Okay, so the words that you need to know, they're really important. Of course, you will learn more words because there is another point in writing. You need to avoid repeating words and phrases. That's really important not to repeat. So especially in your introduction, definitely you need to use new words. And after that, okay, for example, I say, but I need to use increase 2 times. It's okay. But you know, first at the beginning of your essay, then maybe at the end. So not immediately after it. So that's really important to use some synonyms. Okay, so decrease and decline, or drop, fall. Okay, so you can use different words. Now, look, the number of young people buying property plummet, just tense is important, but the tenses, so I'm not going to talk about the past tense. And different, each visual, it can be graph or it can be chart, they have different language, not different language, like different structure, different time that you need to use. Present perfect, past simple, present simple. So future for map, for example, we need to use different. Okay, so I will talk about them later one by one. Complete the sentences using the words in brackets in the correct tense. Last year, house prices, okay, you need to change the verb according to your time expression. So what's
Rose.
great, rose. And Monaco's property market stable.
Remains.
Remains is good because it's a general, something like general fact, so you can use present simple. Remains is good, and you can also use has remained. So stable, present perfect. You actually the time is not mentioned, so you can use present perfect or present simple. The line graph illustrates that since 2010, home ownership since since and for are the signs for present perfect.
Has been.
Has, no, it's not passive.
Oh,
Has
okay.
decreased, yeah, of course. Has decreased, okay? And house prices next year.
Will.
Yeah, but will here is better to use be going to. You know why? As you know about will and be going to, we normally use, of course, for prediction, both of them are usable. So but here, because we are giving some information based on data that we have. So it's something that we can predict, something like about 80%, if I want to give you a percent. So we can predict about 80% of true. So be going here is better. When you say will, there is no data to prove. But here we have something, we have some evidence that help us to predict. So are going to go up. And in Ireland, property prices this year, whole year.
Had. Oh no.
Have
Half.
rocketed. So when we say this year, this is a period of time. So as you know, for period of time, we use present perfect. Prices is plural, so we use have. I have rocketed. So here we don't need to use passive voice, just normal active sentences. So I would describe these tenses again. It will be easy, so when and how to use them. Well, okay, Alex, do you have any questions, any issues related to this word?
No.
Okay, very good. So time is over and we need to go. So we skip this stuff for the next session. Next session, we'll keep going with the rest of the writing section and we will learn more. So have a good time and see you at the next session.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.